Imagine a world without knives, without hammers, without any of the tools we take for granted today. For our earliest ancestors, survival depended entirely on what nature provided: sharp stones, broken branches, and bare hands. But one day, someone picked up a rock and struck it against another. A shard broke free, sharp as a blade. That moment, so simple and so profound, changed the course of human history forever. The first tools were born. These first tools were not polished or perfect. They were basic stone flakes, sharp edges created by striking one rock against another. Yet, in those flakes lay a revolution. With a sharp edge, meat could be cut from bone more easily, hides could be scraped to make clothing, and roots could be sliced for eating. What once required hours of struggle could now be done in minutes. Tools multiplied the strength of the human hand. Over time, our ancestors learned to shape stones deliberately. This practice is called knapping, carefully striking one stone, usually flint or obsidian, with another to create a desired shape. Knapping required skill, precision, and patience, but the reward was a cutting tool far superior to anything found by chance in nature. Each strike was both science and art, transforming rock into razor. The Acheulean hand axe is one of the most iconic early tools. Shaped like a teardrop, with two symmetrical edges, it appeared nearly 2 million years ago and spread across continents. It was not just a tool, but a symbol of intelligence. To make a hand axe, a person needed to imagine the final shape before beginning a mental blueprint. This ability to plan, to envision, marked a leap forward in human cognition. But tools were not only about cutting, they became extensions of human will. A sharpened stick, hardened in fire, could become a spear. A stone tied to wood could become a hammer. These simple innovations allowed humans to hunt larger animals, defend themselves from predators, and open new sources of food. The world that once seemed threatening became manageable. With tools came cooperation. Making them required teaching. Young ones watched their elders, copying strikes, failing, trying again. Tool-making was the first classroom where knowledge was passed from generation to generation. And with that teaching came language, gestures, and the slow evolution of communication. Tools shaped not only survival, but society. Consider the possibilities opened by a single hand axe. It could butcher an animal, chop wood, dig roots, or break bones to access marrow. Its versatility made it the prehistoric equivalent of a Swiss Army knife. For hundreds of thousands of years, the hand axe was humanity's faithful companion, unchanged because it was already so effective. Over time, specialization increased. Different stones were chosen for different purposes. Flint for blades, basalt for heavy pounding, obsidian for surgical precision. Humans became geologists before the word even existed, learning which rocks fractured in predictable ways and which were useless. Campsites near flint deposits became centers of activity, gathering points where technology advanced. Composite tools marked another breakthrough. By attaching stone tips to wooden shafts with sinew, resin, or plant fibers, humans created spears and arrows. Suddenly, hunting was safer and more efficient. Instead of approaching a dangerous animal directly, hunters could strike from a distance. The balance of power between human and beast began to shift. Tools also influenced social organization. Someone skilled at knapping could produce blades for the group. Someone else might specialize in binding wood and stone together. Division of labor appeared, with cooperation at its core. No longer was survival only about individual strength. Now, it depended on shared knowledge and collective skill. Even art owes something to tools. The earliest carvings, engravings, and later cave paintings were made possible by sharpened stones. By scratching symbols into bone or etching patterns into rock, humans began to record not only their survival, but their imagination. Tools were not just practical, they became vehicles for creativity. The spread of tools also mapped the spread of humanity. Wherever humans traveled, from Africa to Europe, Asia, and beyond, they carried their technology with them. Each migration left behind a trail of stone flakes and hand axes, silent witnesses of human progress. Archaeologists today read this trail like a story, uncovering how our ancestors adapted and thrived. In the long timeline of human evolution, the first tools may seem small, even primitive, but their impact was enormous. Tools extended the body, amplified intelligence, and transformed the relationship between humans and the natural world. They were the first proof that we could shape nature to our needs, not just accept what was given. Think about that chipped rock again. In its sharp edge lies the first spark of engineering, the first act of invention, the first declaration that humans were different. Tools made us builders, problem solvers, and dreamers. Without them, there would be no fire, no shelters, no farming, no cities, no civilization. So the next time you hold a knife, a hammer, or even a simple pen, remember that you are holding the descendant of that first stone flake. Every tool we use today carries the legacy of those who struck rocks together in the dawn of time. If you enjoyed this journey into prehistory, subscribe to the channel, leave a like, and share your thoughts in the comments. Your support helps us keep exploring the incredible story of humanity.